dun 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 dun.
It's Monday. Could tell I had to drive into town. Oh God. I'm not wrong. I am not wrong. This bullshit where they told me when I was young, you just gotta learn to be patient. You just gotta learn to be patient. Be patient. And how dare you not be patient? You're not patient. Oh, well, I can't. How dare you have self-respect for these precious finite seconds of your life on the just bend over, spread your ass cheeks, and let the world fuck you in the ass. You need to bend over. You need to get more communal. You need to become like the Borg. Just I'd like to talk about other things. And then it is a million microscopic dildos fucking me all over my body like mosquito bites. And I just to get this fucking podcast. Do you remember the days? Do you remember the days 10 years ago when you boop, 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 we're live? And it worked. It fucking worked. And yet, ironically, when they keep telling us that technology is progressing and things are getting better, bandwidth, speed, broadband, processing power, and yet it just more login, more usernames, trying to send us out on Twitter, watching the things spin around like, hey, I gave you all the information I need. Today, the grain of sand in Twitter's vagina was that we just don't like to work with Firefox today. So there's like, I don't know, Firefox. I don't know. Why would we program clean code? I'm no fucking computer programmer, but I just got to imagine. You guys do so much copying and pasting that it's starting to fuck. It's just slowing everything down. For the sake of future programmers, for the sake of all future, could you stop building on top of the old fucking system and just say, hey, look, we know this is going to take 3 times the amount of time now, but it's going to take 18 fucking times the amount if we keep building on this shit software or code. Well, we got to troubleshoot it. So let's start clean. Let's start fresh. Let's simplify the code so CPUs aren't taxed all over the globe. And then maybe our shit will fucking work. Maybe it doesn't matter if you sign in through Opera or fucking whatever the one with the Brave or Chrome. It just fucking works. We're not sticking needle dick fucking dildos in people's asses. I was in a good mood. Batch of nieces and nephews are in. Which means we got to drive. Guest room. We got Airbnb. Fuck, what? What? Fine. Okay. Well, we'll just drive out to the Airbnb. I got to run errands in town anyway. They're going to go do tourist shit. I don't need to do the tourist shit. I've seen it. I was a tourist at one time. Now I'm a fucking citizen. Drop the GF off at the family there. Okay, you go have fun with them, spend quality time. And already, you just knew today was the special needs people, which are also called Americans. I just knew. It wasn't a dildo in my ass, but you started feeling that finger with a little bit of lube around your anus. You're like, yeah, going one of these days. And it started with the RV drivers. It's a good 35 minutes to town. It's Monday morning at not even 8, 7:45. There shouldn't be a traffic jam in Rapid City. Traffic jam, Rapid City. Disproportionate. You could just see, you see the car all lined up, right? Car and you always try and I got a truck so I can see a little bit higher. But you know what you're talking. You're down to one lane, right? You're up against somebody. You got what's over? Can you see? You tell the person in the passenger, what do you see? Can you lean out the right, see if there's, oh yeah, it's merging up ahead, or some dipshit. This fucking happened in Montana. We're in the middle of fucking nowhere, Montana traffic jam. Why some boomer? God, it felt so great. Let me tell you how great it fucking felt. So all of a sudden, bam, it slows down. What the hell's going on? And then my buddy I lean out. He was driving. I lean out. I'm like, oh yeah, I could see the ambulance. Some fucking boomer. I knew it because this old lady was standing. And the internet goes out. I know Starlink. I think it's time for Starlink. I don't have time for this shit. Anyway, yeah, something happens. We're driving past this boomer lady. You know, the one is dressed like a firefighter or a cop, and we had to send all the police department firefighter because this boomer husband. Oh God, I wish I could use some words. He missed the turn. And what was great? What was great is he had to go to the hospital because that's why there was the ambulance there. But he had what I estimate to be like a brand new F-150, and it wasn't a platinum, but it was a higher end one. It was extra small dick size, extra super tall, right? Extra, I got a really small micro dick, and he missed it hard and hit like a driveway embankment, went into the ditch. Front left tire completely ripped off. Hey, fucker! Over you. Yeah, hopefully you're watching this in Montana. Wasn't that populated of air? I hope the repair bill on that is fucking insane. I hope your $80,000 truck, it looked brand new. Certainly a current day generation of that. I hope it costs so much of your fucking baby boomer retirement money to repair that. Delaying everyone's life. And it was one of those things like, what the fuck is going on? Well, this time you didn't need to lean over or look around or see what it was. Fucking RV in front of everyone. I mean, yes, the thing, just some tourist was RV. Let me explain. Let me help you youngins out there. All right, let me help you youngins. You're going to, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is with the RVs. It's one of those things, you know, like we've been evolving for billions of years based on the first signs of life, and humans have been around for a couple 100,000 years in our current day genetic formation. The experience of our forefathers have equipped us, or some of us at least, where you should be able to look at a situation like, this is FUBAR. Something ain't right. I don't know. I don't need a detailed logical theorem here to say why this is a bad situation, but something ain't right. The math don't add up on this. And when you look at RVs, that should kick into your brain like, wow, that is a big ass thing. And I don't have a semi-truck driver's license. I'm not Alex Patino. I don't know how to pilot that thing down the road. In fact, we even give people like, oh yeah, just hook it up to a truck. Here you go. Think about how stupid this is. If you took it to the extreme. In the United States, if you're 16 years old, you could drive one of those things. Fucking bus. So here's your driver's license. It doesn't happen, thank God. But I give it to him. I'm entitled to it. But you should be able to look at an RV and say, okay, that thing is 23 feet long. And it's this tall, and I got to hook it up to a truck. I don't know how to back up that thing. Making turns, going through congested downtown areas. You should say this is a bad idea and I shouldn't do it. There should also be a financial component or a logical component. Why? Wait a minute. What are we doing here, Grandma Tilly? You know, because you're Gertrude and Herman. Gertrude, what are we doing here? Wait, I know it's our time. We know we're on our fourth divorce and we fucked over our children. We have no money, but it's our time. It's always been my dream to drive across America in an RV. It's our time. Petulant little crybabies. But even then, someone would come in and say, hang on for a second. Hold on. Wait a minute. Okay. On the cheap, you know, an RV is going to set you back 80 grand. The high-end ones, my God, I think you'd spend $500,000 because you fucking need a luxury pool to come out of one. I don't know how that works. I don't even know if you could drive around with that with water in it. Don't you have to like drain? I don't know. I don't know what you people do in your dwindling fucking days. But you'd say, wait a minute, 80 grand on used. Isn't that all the luxury hotel stays you could ever want? We want to be able to, there's people who still do the math on RVs. And trailers like, well, you know, you don't pay for hotels. Like, no, you just pay used for a fucking $1,000 RV. And hookup fees, and you I don't know, do you think maybe gas goes up a little bit? Do you think you lose a mile or two per gallon on your fuel efficiency? You should look at that and say, this is ridiculous. I don't need to sit down with a spreadsheet to know that this is a bad idea. Financially, risk, headache-wise, you got to drain sewage out of it. You got to get water and hook up. Hey, do you want me here? Let's just do the math. Let's just do the math. 80,000 on the cheap, mind you, on the cheap. So you are a boomer. You have 10 years left. I'm just going to do real quick. It wouldn't be this way. So you got 3,650 days left. Okay. So 80,000 divided by 3,600. All right. So on the face, oh, that's $22 a night. Did I do the math right? $22 a night. Yeah. Now add hookup fee. And you're not, by the way, you're not going to be, unless you were actually living in the trailer for the rest of your days. That's not going to happen. It's not. There's gas, there's fuel, there's hookup fees. And at the end of the day, how few and little you actually use the trailer. It is not financially advantageous for you to do so. Now, I know a young couple who do it right. They pay cash. It's used. They use it regularly. They enjoy it. I get it. But they go to the place and they come back. They don't just meander through fucking mountains and one-lane roads. And the guy who drives it well, like actually goes the speed limit. I understand if you got to go uphill, it does slow things down. This was on the flat. Because I've driven an RV. I've driven a trailer. All right. Yeah, I go up it. It doesn't have the engine to do it. Get into the right lane. Okay, I get that. But on the flat surface, no, these are just dumb, slow people. Ooh, and they're the ones that have to figure out at the intersection whether it is, I don't know, Gertrude, we're going right or left. I don't know. Like turn screen, you're waiting. So, I think I'm going right. It shouldn't have taken me an hour and a half to do this, but here we are. Oh, and now I'm back. Anyway, internet isn't working correctly, so I have to use the phone. There was something that came up on the internets. Here, look at this. Now I got to look. If you see me do this, I'm looking to see if the internet's still fucking working. So here's some good news. Colleges are now closing at a pace of one a week. what happens to the students. I love there's a lot of articles like this. One was from NBC. I guess there's been a spate of closing. Colleges are closing. That's a good trend. And it kind of shows you that, well, not that you didn't know this before, but journalists are all about abdicating responsibility. They're all about just humans are not independent creatures. They're just robots. They're just NPCs. They're twigs in the raging river. What about the students? I guess they go to a different school. Like, do you do this when a McDonald's closes or the local shop closes? I mean, whatever. Your local taco. Okay. I'll give you an example. There was a great ramen place on the west side of Vegas. It was my favorite ramen place, ran by a sweet lady who was younger than me. Not much, but was still so motherly. She was just, it felt like you know how you run into someone and based on each other's demeanor and personality, a certain prescripted or stereotypical relationship forms. Like, for example, when I run into an older man, usually I shut up, and I listen to him, and well, he's the elder, he knows more. And it's not necessarily father, son, but it's elder, younger. Like, you defer to the old man unless it's a baby boomer. Woo, 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 Gertrude. Don't sell the truck. Except for those fuckwits. Or there's a bigger guy. You know, you're kind of like, I don't know about you, but when there's a bigger guy, regardless of age, I always kind of pick on him a little bit. You know, hey, shorty, you know, that kind of stuff. Like, yeah, I know you could kick my ass. But we're going to see if you got if we could get along. I don't know. So it was one of those deals with this lady. She was younger, but she was very doting, very sweet, and was always happy to see me because she knew I like super spicy food. I go, oh, Dan noodle. I'm like, yeah, Dan noodle. Habanero. Well, the disease came and Nevada went Democrat and everything shut down and they didn't come back. And dang, no more Dan noodle. Was there an article written? Where will Cappy go now? Ramen place closes. Where will customers go now? You just go to the next fucking. It's tragic. It was really good food. It's great ramen. Boy, especially the college kids, right? Like, I know according to you journalists, the average rank and file American is a complete fucking artard. A completely helpless. But college students, oh my God, like they're special needs. Don't they go to college and aren't they supposed to be the future and the brightest and the best? Yeah, but they're really, really special needs at the same time. I mean, they're really dumb. We gotta, oh my God. College student sits on toilet bowl. No toilet paper. Someone did replace the toilet paper. Oh my God, crisis. What do they do? Oh, write an article about it. Which actually is more of a bigger problem sometimes. Like if there isn't a toilet paper roll within arm's reach, you know, you're bending over, trying to reach around, open the cupboard door. Oh shit, where? Oh crap, I didn't check before. Is there one? Thankfully, there's one behind you. No, really, what are students to do? I don't know, go to another college. It's this non-crisis. It's always like, oh, and then I haven't read the article, but you know, professors are looking for, laid off without notice, like any other company that goes belly up. The real story, if there was journalism involved here, you'd say, well, what's causing the trend? Now, maybe the analysis will come here later. But what are students to, oh my goodness, quick, assemble the powers of government. Students don't have a college to go to anymore. Buddy mine's going to get a kick out of that. Fernandez was a student in Newberry College. Oh, we going through the rank of the basic intro? Start with a story? Sympathetic? Oh, no. What is Fernandez going to do? At Newberry College near Boston, whose enrollment had declined in the previous 2 decades from more than 5,300 to about 600. What overpriced liberal arts college was that? Hang on, let's go. Newberry College. How do you hang on, Newberry? Newberry. Founded 1962, credited by the New England Association, placed on probation 2018, which worsening financial standing was determined to pose a potential violation of the accreditation requirements. In December of 2018, the college announced it would close at the end of the 2018-2019 academic career. Oh, okay. So then, okay, that's an interesting thing. 82. In the fall, renovated the college libraries into a 16,000 square foot student success center. Just pissing away money. I know we'll get back to the article, but your job is to convey information. Okay, that's your job. That's what education is, right? At its most fundamental, simplest description, education is convey from master to student, right? Expert to novice. And with advances in technology, I've said it before, we can replace the K through college education system with YouTube. We can. We essentially can make education free. It requires students to self-study or parents to be on their children and not use the K through 12 institution as a babysitting operation. But in times past, yeah, you had to build a building. They all had to congregate. Your voice had to be loud enough to inform a group of 30, maybe with an audio system, 1,000. All right. There were some costs involved. But instead of going, hey, internet, online school, let's renovate the library into a 16,000 square foot student success center. Hey, we need sports ball. Although with fees and ticket prices, you actually might make money on that. All the buildings that you guys build, oh, look, this had 73% minority architects involved in the celebration of Socialist Dick Sucking Institute building. Look at all the artwork that came from natives that we paid fair price for. How the fuck does that advance education? And then articles and students. Tuition too high. Me so smart college student I am. Republicans in Senate make prices go up. Bad Trump, bad Trump. I need $100,000 a year salary, college educated. I am. Hang on. 16,000 student success center. How's the success now? Wait, hang on. Was Newberry even like a real private college? Was it a liberal arts college? Was it by entrepreneur Tessanari? Help local business with competent, educated employees. So it sounded quasi trade school, more business school, but yeah, so it's a business school. All right. So it offered jack fuck all shit. 20 degrees consists of a School of Arts and Sciences, Hospitality Management, Human Services, and Professional Studies. Holy shit. Can't imagine why it closed down. Tuition, $33,000 per year. Room and board was approximately $15,000. So what is that? $48,000? $48,000 a year for a business school. I don't know why the students ain't showing up. We are so smart. We have professors. We have PhDs. Oh, it's a sea of stupidity out there. And I tried swimming in it today. I should just stayed at home. Things started closing down, Fernandez remembered. There was definitely a sense of things going wrong. Well, what year was this? They told you they were shutting down. The food went downhill. It felt like they really didn't care anymore. Man, that was it. I know you all complain about capitalism, but capitalism is reality. You just don't know it yet. They just want money. Yeah, that's how it works. And if the money runs out, you get shit services. The private nonprofit school had been placed on probation by its accreditors because of its shaky finances. Then the shuttle bus connecting the suburban campus with the nearest station on the public transportation system started running late or not showing up at all. Oh, is that beautiful? It's like starting to see empty shelves. Well, oh my goodness. Why aren't there tampons at Target? That's when the liberal white women, that's when the awfuls, affluent white female liberals, when the tampons start running out at Target, then heads are going to roll. Well, I don't know what you're going to do because the economic infrastructure, the supply chain to get you your tampons at Target, organically made, sourced environmentally, whatever horse shit marketing scheme you girls buy that shit for, it still ain't going to change no matter how much you complain. And then they come, well, somebody must do something. Somebody must do something. Just starts a little bit too much of a urine smell on those buses, huh? Start showing up a little bit later, not at all, huh? Probably because their employees weren't paid. Don't worry. The dean, he's got a master's degree in sociology. He knows how to manage shit. The irony of a business school going out of business. Just pointing it out. That was one of the things that made us feel like they were giving up. Yeah. And now it's time to go to a different school. Online. Western Governors University, may I recommend. After students went home for their winter holiday, an email came. Newberry would shut down at the end of the next semester. It was unfortunate we have to close after all these many years and blah, 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 said Fernandez, who was a junior. I was very angry. Okay, Fernandez, chances are with their degree lists, you are of this belief that college, any degree is a good degree, and college unto itself is an accomplishment. It is not a tool to get forward in life. So your life was going to be fucked anyway. In an ironic sense, at $48,000 a year, you were getting hosed. It's probably a blessing because now you can go to Western Governors University and finish your completely worthless degree. Or I recommend get a degree in accounting and maybe have a future. I love it how these students are like, I'm upset. I'm angry. It's closing down. Well, I was kind of upset the ramen place closed down, but I wasn't like, somebody must do something. I'm not some awful getting pissed off because Target ran out of tampons. The loans that students had taken out to pay the college weren't forgiven, which was infuriating. Well, wait a minute. If you paid for it, what do you mean it's infuriating? You paid, did they charge you for more college than what you were allowed to attend? If that was the case, then you should be inferior. Then they stole money from you and they should pay you back. But if you paid for a semester of tuition, I said, okay, after the semester we're done, you weren't stolen from. Your student loans, yeah, because it probably was lent to you by the government, by the taxpayer. I'd have to look at the details of how the student loan worked, but I'm going to assume it wasn't the school that lent you the money. It was the taxpayer. I had already put so much money into my education and my family didn't have that money. How am I going to apply this to my future if it doesn't exist? I don't know. Oh my God. The ramen place shut down. There's nowhere else to go for ramen? There aren't any other colleges or universities? This and other questions are on the minds of more and more students this spring as the pace of college closings dramatically speeds up. About one university or college per week so far this year, on average, has announced that will close or merge. That's what needs to be done. They're not offering good degrees. They're overcharging you kids. I don't know. How dense is Fernandez? Dude, have you not paid attention? Do you not see the millennials and Gen Xers with the student loan crisis? Are you guys all that dense? You don't realize that college education, for the most part, is a scam, and people are backing out of it because it's not worth it? And by the way, enrollment hasn't tanked that much. It's tanked about, depending on how far back you want to go, about 7%. But how bad is your school? Like, you lose 7%. Like, if I lost 7% clients on ASL Consulting, still have 93%, it'd be fine. How thin are your margins if you lose 7%? Now, they lost a lot more at this Newberry school. You know what will get them to come in? A revamped library turned into the Student Success Center. It'll only be $8.7 billion to refurbish it. That's up from a little more than 2 a month last year, according to the State Higher Education Executive Officers Association, or SHIO. So many colleges are folding that some students who move from one to another have now found that their new school will also close. Well, how much you want to bet? Because y'all keep going to these shit liberal arts private school worthless colleges. I don't think trade schools are necessarily shutting down. So many colleges are folding that some students who move from one to, I already read that. Some of the students at Newberry, when it closed in 2019, have moved there from nearby Mount Ida College, for example, which shut down the year before. Oh, Mount Ida College. Oh, there. Hang on. Mount Ida College. Oh, that's University Amherst. That's a campus. Mount Ida College was a private college. Just so you know, and I'm not a big, obviously I'm libertarian. I want government out of pretty much everything that doesn't need to be in. But in an ironic sense, these private schools, these private colleges they're the worst scams ever. I worked at 2 of them, and their entire job was just to fleece you kids out of your money. Now, it took me a while to figure that out. First school I taught at, I was not invited back because I held people up to their academic standards. And then I see what you're doing there. That school shut down. And then the next one I went to, I'm like, nope, we're just playing ball. I need to make money. I need to eat. And that was great. And then in fairness to Obama, he came in like, no, we're shutting down these Pell Grant sponge scam schools. And so you actually had to be an accredited school. And then that one closed down. That doesn't mean just because they met accreditation. This is going back to 2007, 2008. No, when was Obama in office? God, I forget. Was it 2012 Obama came in, or was it 2008? It was a while ago. And Obama shut that down. Make sure you kids didn't get screwed because you're too fucking stupid. Obama, Morgan, look at this. These American children are too really stupid. Make their own decision. Why do I sound kind of like, what's his name, that actor? Not Marlon Brando. Walter Matthau. Who's getting the action? Watch that movie. You'll know who I'm talking about. Walter Matthau plays an Italian gangster, which is a hard bit to sell, but he talk like this. Everybody's got one mother. You'll treat yours well. It's a funny movie. Yeah, but Obama came in and like, oh, you all too stupid to figure out this is a scam. Remember? Hey, do you want to excite, because you're high on pot and you're a loser and you're living at a trailer park? Are you a fat piece of shit watching daytime TV? Oh, I sure am. And come down to the school of dick-sucking tech, where you could get an exciting career in medical transcription. And you assholes came in with your .06 GPA and your GED. I'm going to become a culinary artist. That's the type of school I was teaching at. All shut down. So Mount Ida. Mount Ida School for Girls. Oh, man. You want to talk about genuine sexism. The colleges and universities screw you girls over so much. Forced to close the Great Depression. Oh, God. I don't need its whole bachelor's degrees program. Okay, UMass Amherst announced plans to acquire the Newton campus in 2018. Classes ended after the commencement of the spring of 2018. Students of the small school were offered automatic transmission to Dartmouth Oh, ba, 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 ba. Okay. Why did it close? It probably offered worthless fucking. I don't know. I don't know. I just wish it would list their degrees. Most students at colleges that close give up on their educations altogether. What? Well, that's a them problem. Oh no, God, the ramen thing. This ramen analogy just shows you how stupid the students are. Oh no, my favorite ramen place closed. I guess I have to give up ramen forever. What? I did. I found another ramen place. Not as good, but I found another. I didn't give up on it. Most students at colleges that close give up on their educations altogether. Fewer than half transfer to other institutions, a SHIO study found. Well, how lazy and stupid are those students? This, again, the journalist makes it sound like this is America's responsibility or problem. That somehow, oh no, Fernandez did continue on with his dick-sucking MBA program. Aaron, we need a re-education program and a subsidy program and a help program so that Fernandez could go and continue on to get his general business degree with his hat on backwards. Of those, fewer than half stay long enough to get degrees. Many lose credits when they move from one school to another and have to spend longer in college, often taking out more loans to pay for it. So let me ask you this, son. This is important for you young people out there. Do these colleges sound like they're tending to the students that showed up on time, got a 3.2 or higher GPA, and were responsible? Or is this again one of those, oh, everyone fell behind. We need to say people fell through the cracks. How big are the fucking cracks? Does this sound like the losers who watch daytime TV and now they're going to these shit piss liberal arts colleges because they're the only ones that will take them and they'll charge them up the ass and they don't sound accredited? And now because they're not accredited, when you apply to like a real school, well, we don't take college credits for that. And now in other words, lazy people work twice as hard. It's like you bought a crappy car because you're too lazy to work up the money to get a reliable car. And so the crappy car needs all the repairs and ends up costing you more than if you had just fucking worked an extra job to buy a reliable car. If you can't go and apply for it, if you're too lazy to even go transfer or apply to another university, let me guess. Oh my God. The sad children's. You, taxpayer, come up with how? What do I got to do? I got to now come up with a program to motivate they got that. It's not a pot smell. I mean, pot might be part of it, but the people, you ever walk into, this happened to me a couple times. I'd walk into like either a party, sometimes even picking a girl up for a date, and maybe they'd be living at home. And it just had that cat / pot / really lived in, but never cleaned up kind of musty smell. Mold is a little bit in there. You know what I'm talking about? I'm picturing these are the students. These are the one that can't go buy a bottle of bleach and spruce up their place a little bit. The rest joined the growing number of Americans, now over 40 million, according to the National Student Clearinghouse Research Center, who spent time and money to go to college but never finished. Yeah, okay. Not the fault that the school closed down. They're quasi-lazy. Oh, no. What about the 40 million? I don't know. Can't they get off their ass and go to school online? Western Governors University is like a ninth the price of what they were paying. What's the next step, Mr. or Miss author of this article, person, lady, guy? What's the next step? Oh my God, did you know Fernandez is one of the increasing and now 40 million Americans who can't wipe their own ass? Do we need to have a government program to teach people how, or maybe, oh my God, somebody go get Nancy Pelosi and Paul Krugman. Guys, the multiplier effect on this, a government program where we pay people to wipe other people's asses. Oh my God, print off some money and get that program started right now. We'll create trillions in GDP. I'm for the ass wiping program. You know, the Civilian Conservation Corps when men built bridges. The Hoover Dam. How'd it go now? Now we're just wiping other Americans' asses. No, I got to do this. I got to do this. Oh, you want me to go under? I got to do this to this guy over here because Paul Krugman says with the $6 trillion we spent on the ass wiping program, we're going to get ourselves out of the national. I have a master's degree in ass wiping. Why can't I find a man? I'm an ass wiper. Oh, I heard the government program. I heard a government pay. It's a really stable job. You got a pension, right? The Chicago ass wipers. Oh, and that's an increase, and that's happening at a time when efforts to increase the proportion of the population with degrees is already facing headwinds. We don't need people with college degrees. We need people with skills. My God, how long does this create? So you start at 5, right? We throw you into slavery at 5. You're stuck in school. And then we got the fuck around gang who don't take their education seriously. Oh, they gotta have a safety net. So okay, here you could go to these shit schools. Mr. Weird smelling person come out of the trailer, pot, cat piss, and mold smell. All right. And then, that school closed down. And then by the time maybe you get around to getting your degree in like hairstyling, you're 30 years old. Holy shit. No, we don't need to go. We should be getting kids out of school by like the 6th grade. Like, hey, shit or pot? Which one? All right. Are you going to take? No? All right. Well, you go work. We can teach you accounting. We can teach you how to mow yards. And when you're 16, you can drive. But we're not babysitting you for the next 15 years of your life for you to slowly get around. God, is there anything more sad than when you see these people posting on social media? I graduated with my associates in travel and hospitality. You're fucking 32 years old. God. I was asking my dad, can I not go back? Said Fernandez, who eventually decided to continue at another college. Oh my God, there was another ramen place just down the street. And now works as a patient coordinator at a hospital. There you go. Oh my God, you found employment and a place to go to school. How'd you do that without a government program? I'm glad I did, but it honestly scares me for the future of education. I'm not sure where education is going to go at all if colleges keep closing. Hopefully it goes away and you don't need to go to college, Fernandez. How about that? Let me ask you something, Fernandez. I don't know who this guy is. The job you're doing now what is it? Patient coordinator. Did you need to go to any school beyond the 8th grade to do that? Let's be honest. Did you really need to go to school? And I would do away with this whole thing. Well, you need to be 18 to work. No. Can you do the job? You a kid? I don't care. Are you responsible? Can you show up? So, Fernandez, how much time and money would you have saved? This lie that there's some inherent value to a college education unto itself has got to be expunged from society. You all have to wake up and realize this is an unnecessary and crippling. The largest single crippling thing that we do to our children is all this unnecessary education. What could you, Fernandez, let me ask you this. If you could have gone and worked in the 8th grade, right? Live at home with mom and dad, saved up all that money and not spent the money that you spent on tuition. So from 8th grade, what is that? That's 13, 14 to 23, 24 now. That 10 years. And you didn't spend the money on college. Would you have enough money that you could afford a place to live? Could you buy a house? Maybe not a big one, but could you afford a house? Oh, Debbie Doobie. Why can't I afford a home? Said the dipshit with $100,000 of student loan debt and 4 years wasted. They could have been working otherwise. Gee, I don't know where that money could have come from there, Bob. It's just another roadblock, especially with people who are struggling with tuition in the first place. A crazy idea. Crazy. No college. You don't need college to work. Because President Cap, no joke. One of the first things I do is I do a right to information. like a right to free education, where you cannot charge. You can charge for the delivery of information, but you cannot charge for information itself. Meaning you can't say, well, you need an accredited degree from college, and that would be applied to employers. Like, no, you cannot discriminate against someone on how they got the information. If they went to the library and taught themselves accounting, you cannot say, we're going to hire some idiot that spent $80,000 in 4 years going to school to learn the exact same thing. You cannot discriminate against information or wisdom or knowledge based on how it was acquired. You can test for it. You cannot discriminate. Once they prove that they know just as much as the college graduate, you cannot discriminate against it. Would that help out young people? Would that help out the poor? College. College. Oh, college. I mean, oh, it's all over my face. College. Colleges are almost certain to keep closing. As many as 1 in 10 four-year colleges and universities are financial peril. The consulting firm Ernst & Young Parthenon estimates. Good. It's simply supply and demand, said Gary Stocker, a former chief of staff at Westminster College in Missouri. I'm looking to see if I still have internet. Which evaluates institution's financial stability. The closings will follow an enrollment decline of 14% in a decade. Okay, so enrollment's down 14%. That's twice why. Oh, that's no bad. What will you worthless, I mean this, genuinely worthless academics do now? Are you going to become adults yourself and start working jobs in the real world as opposed to being academics and professors? Are you actually going to contribute to society? Are you going to go look for some kind of government grant program, get your triple doctorate? Are you going to still avoid the adult real working world? This is what I hear about, where there's not a lot of PhD positions open. I mean, you get your PhD, but there's not a lot of teaching positions open. I think TAs are making like $18-20 an hour. Awesome. You're worthless. You have no value. You might have friendship or loving value to people in your life, but to society, you're a worthless human being. You offer nothing of value. Become a patient coordinator. There's value there. Most recent period for which the figures are available from the Department of Education. Another decline of up to 15% is projected to begin in 2025. So over what period of time with that? So another 10 years. That's another complaint I got. Link below, you'll find a link to my book, Worthless. That book was written in 2011. 2011, what is it? We're 13 years now later. We're talking about 1% a year. Dude, college should have collapsed like the housing market did in 2007. It should have shrank by 40% in a year. A legit crash. But you young people are so propagandized by your teachers and professors and all of society. In society, it's like the tone of this article is written by a truly naive person. Oh my God, education isn't doing well. It should be crushed. It's an unnecessary burden. It's like putting rocks in your backpack and going for a hike. We don't need it. We should have jettisoned this 15 years ago. When I wrote the goddamn book, we should not have burdened yet another whole generation of Zoomers with this unneeded hurdle. College is not an asset. It's this big fucking, if you want to be frank about it, true. It is a big unnecessary hurdle for young people to work. But it is also, in one of the few actual instances, a truly bigoted, discriminatory hurdle, because it does prevent people from truly disadvantaged grounds, whether you're a poor black person, a Latino immigrant, a woman, who gets pissed off, an awful liberal white woman from the suburbs who gets pissed off that the tampons are out at Target. You truly disadvantaged people. What you think Jerome, Southside Chicago, living in Section 8 housing, do you think it helps or hurts him that you put this unnecessary 4-year fucking bullshit hurdle in front of him for him to go get a job? And it's just, but The reason for the slow decline in college, as opposed to an abrupt, quick elimination of the unnecessary requirement of it, is because society gets it's articles like this. It's ignorance on the part of everyday people, including your parents who love you. Like, well, you gotta go to college. 'Cause my baby boomer parents said I had to go to college, and even though I relied on your father to bail me out, and I still can't find any employment with my journalism, you have to go to college too. Like, when the fuck does everybody wake up and realize this is a fucking cancer? Or at least a tumor we don't need? This is like having, let's say you're 160 pounds. Well, okay, an American. 200 pounds, right? You're 200 pounds. You're a fat, typical, disgusting American pig, right? Y'all love your fucking Cheetos more than life itself, right? This is like carrying a 50-pound tumor with you wherever you go. So you're 250 pounds. It's not necessarily cancerous, but you don't need, and it's not like it's wrapped around your heart. It's inoperable. No, this is like a 50-pound growth growing out of your shoulder. Like, yeah, we could just literally lop that off. We don't need it anymore. And you have Fernandez, the fucking college attending Joe. What are we gonna do about education? Ain't going well, the people. Oh my God! Meanwhile, I got a job without a college degree. I'm not gonna put two and two together. It just won't go away. Why are we so? If we speak clearly about the obsolescence of college, all this shit goes away. All of it. The only thing that's going to fix this is enough closings and consolidations which supply and demand reach equilibrium, Stalker said. Oh my God, you talk to somebody sensible in the world. That's likely little comfort to students who attend or have attended closing schools. Who wrote this? What idiot wrote this? John Marcus. John, is that the piece of sand up your ass? Is that students might have to go find another ramen shop? Is that it? Oh my God. Students who attend or have attended closing schools. Already this year, and within a span of a few days, Birmingham Southern College in Alabama, Fontbonne University in St. Louis, and Eastern Gateway Community College in Ohio all announced that they would close. Let's look at Fontbonne, because that's a unique name. Fontbonne. A lot of you told me that Fontbonne is soar higher. Wait, is it still open? There might be more than one Fontbonne. Fontbonne, St. Louis. Fontbonne, University closing. Clients of COVID. Ceased operations after 2020. Okay, so it's still open. Fontbonne. Give. It says on their website. We're on their website. We're closing. It says give. Oh, Fontbonne University. Oh, here, academics. Okay, College of Arts and Sciences, Global Business Professional Studies. View all academic programs. Fontbonne Online. Why don't you just get rid of your campus? Okay, colleges. College of Education and Allied Health Professionals. No, okay. Art Gallery, Center for Bosnian Studies. You have a Center for Bosnian. Nothing against the Bosnian people. You wonder why you're going belly up. Biological behaviors of fine arts, humanities, math, and computer science. Really? Arts and English, history, Bachelor of Arts in University major. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Hopefully you guys can still hear me. There's a computer science degree accredited by ABT. Okay, good. Psychology, chiropractic, cybersecurity. Okay, there's some degrees here. I wonder, this is just me, Fontbonne. What if you got rid of all your bullshit degrees and focused on the ones that were good? Just great. Now, hang on. Just hear me out. What if you got rid of the Department of Bosnian Studies and the Bosnian Culture Center? No offense to Bosnians. What if you just got rid of that and you focused on real degrees for real jobs? Just me. Oh no. What will the Bosnian culture director do for a job? Oh, font bond next year in Eastern Gateway. We still got it. We still got it. The private for-profit University of Antelope Valley in California was ordered by the state in late February to shut down because of financial shortfalls. What I want to know, do you guys remember there was a radical leftist cult posing as a college in near Olympia, Washington? Evergreen? I think it was Evergreen. Evergreen College. Like 10 years ago, it was in the news. Oh, it's still there. Public Liberal Arts College. They're still around, huh? They're still there. Programs and courses. Oh, God. Oh, my God. Guys, go to their main webpage. Go to programs and courses. I remember I was on the tail end where like it was still assumed that if you were in college, you were it was assumed smarter people went to college. This looks like an adult daycare center. Like you're like not up all there. Look at this. Look at this. Oh my goodness. This is hilarious. Academics. Yeah, I remember driving through this camp. I went through it on my motorcycle just to see. Oh, hey, you actually put if obviously being Pacific Northwest, mostly white people. They got 2 black people though, but if you look at it, it's mostly white, which is fine, but it's not oh, standard white person. It's like white guy with purple hair. Your standard Portlander Seattleites. Oh, environmental masters in teaching, study abroad. Oh God, it's just worthless. Hang on, they make the news? Any news about that? Oh yeah, Israeli divestment. Evergreen sides agreement move toward divesting from Gaza. Protesters occupy Evergreen. Evergreen protest. Okay. All right. All right. The rich kid from Mercer Island are doing the rich kid from Mercer Island kind of thing. All right, we got it. Oh, let me pull up that article again. Private California state shut down. Lincoln Christian University in Illinois and Magdalen College in New Hampshire will close in May. Johnson University, Florida. Okay, you go through all of them. Notre Dame College in Ohio will also close its door at the end of semester, stranding for a second time students who transferred there from Alderson Broaddus University. They're not stranded. This isn't like they're being dropped off on an island in the middle of nowhere. Oh, I hope they build a smoke signal for the occasional passing train. No, they just go home. Maybe, God almighty, maybe they work for 6 months, recapitalize their finances, and then they find another school. Let me pose a observation for those of you who are in these colleges and universities. Oh my God, they're closing down. How good could the education possibly be? How practical could it be? The education that these people are giving you if they can't keep the college open. I always, like at the Carlson School of Management or any business school, I always want to know, all right, if you're going to teach entrepreneurship, how many of you have actually ran your damn company successfully? And the irony about business school is that your professors are typically people who failed, those who can't teach. I wouldn't listen to any business professor about running a business unless they were doing it part-time and they had a real gig going on. Know what I'm saying? So if these wise, intelligent professors and provosts and deans, if they can't keep the lights on at the school, How good of an education could they have possibly been given you? Like their career center? Are you actually they know how to find jobs? I mean, this is an accusation to be leveled on pretty much all academics. These are adult children who never stepped outside of school. They've never worked in the real world. But if you can't even, with government aid and subsidies and student loans and taxpayer financing, you still can't keep the lights on? What are you, a newspaper? Ass wiping program? Uh, 7 out of 10 students at colleges that have got little or no warning of the. I didn't get any warning. They didn't give me any warning. The ramen place is closing. Smaller proportion were likely to continue their educations than students at colleges that gave more notice and ended operations in an orderly way, the SHIO study found. Tatiana Hicks, not kidding, that's the name. Just an indication. What did it smell like where you were growing up? Was on her laptop preparing for her final exams in a nursing program she attended at a for-profit Stratford University in Virginia when her group chat with fellow students started to blow up. The only thing that was going through my mind was studying for finals, but my phone would not stop ringing, said Hicks, who was going to school while working 12-hour shifts 3 days a week. Good for you, Tatiana. Good for you. That awesome. Awesome. And I hope now here's the thing. Tatiana's working 12-hour shifts and going to school. How much you want to bet you? Oh my God, the school closed. I guarantee she's going to find another school. An email from the university president had just gone out saying Stratford had lost its accreditation, was closing effective immediately. Oh, now that's real bad management. Students had a month to get their transcripts, it said, but within a day, the university's phone and email were shut down. Said Hicks, now 27, lives in Gainesville, Virginia. I started panicking. I cried. I cried for hours that day. Why were you crying? The school just shut down. You just go to another one. Why am I the only one that... This just happened out of nowhere, said Hicks, who lost all the 94 credits she had earned and owed $30,000 in student loan debt. Oh, okay. Lost all the 96 credits. Now, here's the thing. Was it accredited? This is where it's very important. See, and there should be like a student. Here's where I'd come in like, yeah, these have to be recognized. Unless it was like such a shit school. $30,000 in student loans. Now, does she owe that to the government or the school? See, you kids wanted the government to come in and solve all your problems. If it's the taxpayer that lent it to you, the government's still in business. It would like its money back. If you had gone to a private school and they lent you the money, which sometimes they did, there was private lenders, you could say, fuck off. Well, what would happen is school shut down and then there was a ruling that says you didn't have to pay back these private. That happened to a lot of students that I had. Though they would later be forgiven after more than a year of red tape. Right. Imagine, now nursing, that's a real program, so you do probably need some structured, formalized education. But imagine if we had my version where education was free as long as you tested for it, right? Self-certification. What if you didn't have to pay, 30 grand, 94 credits? That's a serious, I could see her crying over that. That makes sense. Fernandez with his business degree or whatever it was. Everyone kept asking me, when are you going back? And I didn't want to go back, she said. I thought this just proved I shouldn't have gone to college in the first place. You chose the wrong college. You, you should have gone to an accredited program at a state community. Stop going to these private little scam fly-by-night schools. I'm, again, not a big government guy. But at least the public university, the state systems, those are accredited. And they're not going to go belly up. Hicks did eventually enroll in a new program. Good for you, Tatiana. Beginning again from scratch on her way to a degree in respiratory therapy. Wait, what? I thought you were in nursing. Start away from scratch. How do you start from scratch? More common is the experience of Misha Zukyov, who ended his formal education at Burlington College in Vermont, When Burlington College in Vermont shut down during his junior year there, the college had embarked on an ill-fated expansion, buying an abandoned Catholic orphanage so spooky Zukov helped make an award-winning movie in it for his film studies program. There's your problem, Zukov. You're in film studies. This isn't a college program. This is you're a lazy sack of shit person problem. The president at the time of the controversial expansion problem was Jane O'Meara Sanders, wife of Senator Bernie Sanders. The Democrats will save us. Here it is, Misha. Misha, go to the gym. There was always a ramshackle feeling at Burlington, he said. Adjunct instructors were gradually replacing full-time faculty. We kind of all suspected something might happen. You should read Seth Himes' book on getting a degree, a film degree. So please, Zukov, stop it with your degree. You don't need it. Stop going to college for that. Just hold out for another 2 years and I'm out of here. You should have left. You should have saved yourself 2 years of tuition you didn't need to spend. Instead, Zukov and the last 100 or so other undergraduates were given less than 2 weeks' notice that the college would be closing. A private security company came to lock the buildings. Oh, the creditors took over, eh? He said he found that not all of his credits would be accepted if he transferred. Because you went to... Look, let's admit it, right? You were a lazy high school kid. You didn't want to work. You probably couldn't get into an accredited school. Meanwhile, here comes these fly-by-night scam schools. Yeah, you could come in. And they failed to tell you, or you kind of knew but didn't care, that the credits weren't accredited. Lazy people work twice as hard. In this case, 3 or 4 times as hard. Students who transfer lose an average of 40% of the credits they've already earned and paid for, the government accountability found in the most recent comprehensive study of this problem. Oh, so maybe don't go to the schools that aren't accredited. Your plan was to go to a school that would take you, pay extra money because you didn't have the GPA, hope the HR person wouldn't find out whether this college was accredited or not. And then when these schools closed down, you're like, oh crap, my credits wouldn't transfer because it wasn't an accredited college. It was a scam college. And now this is anybody but your fault. Lazy people work twice as hard. Like many of his classmates, Zukov never took his formal education any further. He now works as a graphic designer in New Hampshire. Oh my God, you found a job? How is that possible? You didn't have a college degree. A lot of folks just kind of dropped off. They were banking on that degree. I have a friend who's working at a gas station. Well, that's better than being a college student going into debt, isn't it? Even those who graduate from colleges that later closed run into uncomfortable questions when they look for jobs. Roy Mercon went to Burlington after serving in the Army. He managed to graduate before the college stopped operating, but when he's applied for jobs or gets skeptical reactions, they say, oh, you're from that school. I tried to look it up. He said, yeah, yes. Now, you did get your college degree, accredited or not. The fact it closed, I don't think it's reflecting poorly upon you. It's reflecting poorly upon the people who manage the college. But yeah, that's what happens. You kind of trusted the people teaching you that they know what they're doing. I still know that. Hang on, let me look him up. Let me look this guy up. This guy was scum who ran the school I taught. I want to see if no. Oh, I don't think you can even find him anymore. Hang on. I just want to find him because he was the dean of this school. And where is he now? I can't find what he's doing. And what I guarantee you he's doing is nothing or some other kind of scam thing. These people they're there to take your money. They're there to take your money and give you the shittiest pieces of shit college degree in exchange. And then after you're gone and they close up shop, too bad. This makes you feel a little cynical and sets the tone for the rest of your life. Good! That's what the real world is like, said Murcon, who's 35 and working on the help desk of a citywide internet service provider in Burlington. He now has a 12-year-old daughter of his own. If she decides to go to college, he said he will investigate to make sure the one she picks won't close. Parents learning responsibility and informing their children with the truth? I wonder this might be part of the long-term solution. I can't wait. Let's open up the hood of higher education. Oh, it's still a shit show with maggots. Closing that. And I got a new vice. It's an old vice. It's my girlfriend's grandfather's, and she brought it back from the house, the thing. Put a new coat of paint on it. It looks brand new. I'm going to install it on my workbench. I'm going to drill holes, smell sawdust. It's going to be a good yep. Nope. Done with that. This is a long article. That's an insane thing to have to think about. Wait. Higher education and Democrats and socialist leftist professors are trying to scam people? Well, I thought with the success that the millennials had with their college degrees, that that these people were lofty and angelic, that they had nothing but the best interest at heart of the millennial generation, which is why the millennials did so well with their higher education experience. These weren't leftist Marxist professors just trying to avoid work and enrich themselves off the back of a younger generation. They were saints. Oh, by the way, vote Democrat. By the Bernie Sanders' wife was the charge. Okay, Jill Biden has a PhD in education. Yeah, vote Democrat, by the way. Hey, Zoomers, you know who your real friends are? The Democrats. Ain't they cool, y'all? They down with the peeps. Not those stodgy Republicans like, hey, maybe higher education is a scam. You're not offering me free shit. Why do you hate black people? Layla Ali, who was in the last group of students to graduate from Newberry College, has run into similar paperwork problems. When she started her new job in December, she said her employer tried to verify her for education but couldn't. I didn't really know what route to take. Who do I contact? She ultimately showed them the physical degree that she was handed when she walked at graduation, which the employer accepted, but it triggered unwelcome memories. Oh, no! The questions went... Do you know how fucked your life is going to be if this stops you from functioning in the real... Oh, no, unpleasant memories. Somebody get the UN Human Rights Commission. Yeah, it's a slight hurdle. Like, yeah, the school's shut down. Look, and a lot of this is gonna continue on, especially for you people who have degrees from schools. It's shut down. It's gonna happen. Yeah, that school's shut down. I don't know who you contact. What was your college you worked in? What was your job? That's what I want to know. Here's another following up, Layla. Does your job really require a college degree? She only showed them a physical degree that she handed with triggered unwelcome memories. I remember graduation my last semester being gloomy, said Ali, now 27, living in Atlanta. She said she saw a few signs that the college was in trouble, but had also recently renovated a gym. I wonder if all these diversity and inclusion programs and safe spaces and, oh my God, this group of American Cultural Center, I wonder if that increases tuition costs or lowers tuition costs, and increases the long-term viability of the campus or lowers the long-term viability of the campus. Look, if these colleges and universities didn't have to spend so much money coddling every aggrieved group out there and sucking their balls, do you think they might be able to lower tuition and run a little bit longer? And added sports teams with new equipment and added sports teams. Oh, yeah, sports program, because that's what universities need. So the closing came as a surprise. They could have given us a warning. How much difference a warning can make was evident at Presentation College in South Dakota. Hey, where's that? Which before announcing that it would close contracted with the nonprofit college Possible to help its 384 remaining students continue their educations. That's what they should do. That's what they should do. After the announcement, the college stayed open for a final full semester and kept paying its athletic coach. Paying its athletic coaches to connect its many student athletes with new teams. Sports ball, bro. Oh, God. When Cappy is present, there will be no college sports. None. The various professional leagues, NBA, MLB, there's still going to be college age sports, but they will be paid professionals. You don't get this college taxpayer subsidized recruiting grounds. You absolutely do not. You will pay them. They are professionals, God damn it. You will pay those men and women money. And then the professional league can recruit them out of what would be the intermediary leagues. You could go straight to like Kevin Garnett. They could go straight to the NBA NBA in his case out of high school. And then colleges and universities will be for training young men and women to have employable degrees. At first, when administrators gathered everyone in the field house to announce the closing, the students were so struck with disbelief that about half of them just got up and left, said Catherine Marciano, College Possible's vice president for partnerships. Other students were crying very publicly or expressing anger towards the administration. But teachers. And when the college held a teach out fair in the same gym with institutions that had agreed to accept its students and their credits, none showed up despite the deluge of social media promotion. One thing I can understand about these young kids, like, dude, college is bullshit. Okay? You're stuck in school, mandatory by law for 13 years, from 5 to 18 years old. And now you got to do 4 more years of this bullshit. Because that's where I was. I was like, I got to get I graduated 6 months early. I'm like, I am so fucking sick of school. I want to be done with this. I could see where they're exhausted and demoralized and defeated. I could see that. I could see where someone would break down and cry in some instances. It's like, fuck, man. When do I get to go live? But you all believed your teachers and professors were your friends. They're just using you to make money off of you. That's all it is. It's here, sit down, everyone. Your parents didn't love you enough to homeschool you or like push your academic education, get you educated and trained on their own. What, you think your parents don't have control over that a little bit? You think if I had kids, I want to be like, yeah, you're learning accounting by 14 and fuck the rest of this high school. My goal would make it so that my children didn't have to go to high school or college. I wouldn't let them go to the public school or a private school. I'd be like, nope, homeschool. I'll work 80 hours a week if I have to, but there's no reason for you to be in this fucking prison from 5 to 22 years old. Abso-fucking-lutely not. So your parents don't love you that much. The second thing, teachers are making bank off of you. They don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck if you get an education, let alone an employable one. They're not your friends. So that's why you're stuck in that fucking prison. But given time, where is it? Students at that point were still in that state of grief where they were just paralyzed. Yeah, but given time, she said, we saw those emotions shift to, okay, I have to figure out my next step. Want to keep playing sports or keep pursuing my nursing degree. How about you? This whole shit. Is there anything more sad than watching the college championships for women's softball? Is there anything more sad and they pan in the audience and there's like their parents and no one else? Like the bleachers are 90% empty. Like, I'm into softball. I'm into volleyball. And then, okay, you graduate and that was it. And then what? You talk about what was that? I don't know. Just go play a pickup game. In the end, 90% of those last students either graduated in the final semester before the college closed its doors for good or transferred to another institution, Marciano said. If our higher proportion than those closed colleges elsewhere. Well, good for them. Cassie Lau. This is a long article. Oh, here's a picture of a sports ball. Cassie Lau was a junior at Presentation College. When it closed, she transferred to Dixon State University, which was able to continue playing softball. I'm so fucking good. I am so fucking good. Here she is. Here she is. I'm like, no, it looks softball. Okay. Some scribe. Do you remember Unforgiven, where there was that nerd guy following around, Gene Hackman writing down his every word? So I need a scribe like that. Write this down. Women should stop playing college softball and start making babies. Whoa! Whoa! I wonder, just me, not saying y'all should, I'm just pointing out an economic observation. Like, if you didn't piss away so much fucking time on a completely worthless fucking sport, like college volleyball or college softball, whatever other horseshit, what if you just spent that time, I don't know, finding a man and having a family? What if that, just me? I know, a lot of people get scholarships. I get that. I would just do away with all that shit. Cassie Lowe is one of those, a junior presentation. When it closed, she played on its softball team and managed to transfer to Dickinson. But even with the help of provided to her, she said the path from the day the closing was announced was bumpy. Oh, no, it took work. Yeah, it was a little bumpy for me. I had to go south to go find another ramen place. All these thoughts were going through my mind. What was I going to do? Find another college? Will my credits transfer? You should have researched that before you went to a shit school. Can I still play softball? Where will my friends go? I had one more year until I graduated. Now I had to go find a school for one more year. Living through the process, she said, felt like being a senior in high school again. In the end, because presentation had a teach-out agreement with North Dakota Dickinson State, most of her credits transferred. That kind of experience is exception to the rule. Students at this is getting long. It's deliberate. And struggling schools think they can somehow stay open, or maybe they're afraid of looking like they failed. Works as a consultant, help other colleges through the process, trying to get through colleges' boards. Mergers are also picking up, though they almost end with the struggling partner fading away. Well, yeah, they don't need twice the amount of professors or admin. Seems easier route. Their degrees shut down affect taxpayers. ITT Tech had $1.1 billion in debt forgiven when it was shut down. For instance, okay. U.S. Department of Education rules. Institutions reporting bankruptcy, facing legal judgments, set reserves. Oh, see, now we got them. Now, the U.S. Department of Education has to babysit these fucking adult children. And I don't mean the students, I mean the professors, the admin. Now you got to report to the U.S. Department of Education what your finances are like, because we have taxpayer money involved. Got an idea. You have a constitutional right to information and knowledge, and it cannot be discriminated against in the employment field, in the labor market. That means we don't have to go to colleges and universities anymore. We could go online, teach ourselves accounting or programming or whatever. Employers and industries can have standardized testing like the CPA test or the enrolled agent or the many computer CompTIA type of certifications. And we're done with this. We're done. Young people, instead of pissing away 4 to 6 years and Lord knows $150,000 in tuition on a worthless college degree, could get that information with equal employment prospects for free, and the savings of which can then allow them to afford housing. Anything, is this making too much economic sense? Am I just the crazy white man? Ooh, scary. Ooh. Scary white man. Ooh, with his logic and common sense. Ah. Is that Is that too crazy? All this fucking headache, all the money and resources wasted managing, bailing out, funding, lawsuit, all this horse shit. Application process alone. Scholarships, waste of fucking money. Could you imagine if, however many billions of dollars there is in scholar, what if we just threw that? What if we just created I'm not kidding, like a housing fund? Like everyone gets a little bit of you graduate from high school, here's your housing fund. Yeah, we used to offer scholarships for women to play fucking softball. We figured out maybe you like some housing instead. U.S. Department of Education new rules. Consumers understand the status of the colleges. If a restaurant has health complaints, we don't want to go there, said Stucker. If a car manufacturer has having trouble, why would we want to buy the car? Same thing with colleges. Here's John Marcus. John Marcus. Magazine editor, awards that no one's heard of, bachelor's degree, master's in journalism, worthless fucking person. Maybe he has kids that love him. Oh, look, you 3,000 Twitter subscribers. Thanks, John. You're going to make a difference. John will save the world. Let me do this before we go to the super chats. I got to clean out the inbox a little bit. Laid off hating Scandinavians. Invoice. Video response. By the way, for those of you asshole consulting are waiting, I got a couple coming in. Joseph Jones, that's a thing. Finish out pension. Sundress Gate. Jake, okay, so these aren't articles, these are videos I gotta watch. Oh, here we go. Dre sent this. Come this July, all Indian men can be found guilty and face 10 years imprisonment if they choose to break up with their girlfriends. The new law, this is over in India, by the way. Indian men open to abuse by women because it allows women to falsely accuse their partner of deceit if they break up for any reason. Oh gosh. Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita is India's official national criminal code. It was enacted in December of 2023, and goes into effect July 1st, 2024. Here's the section 69 they passed. Section 69 of the code. Whoever by deceitful means or making by promise to marry a woman without any intention to fulfill the same and has sexual intercourse with her, such sexual intercourse not amounting to the offense of raisoning, shall be punished with the imprisonment of either description for a term which may extend to 10 years and shall also be liable to fine. So you promise to marry a girl or making promise to marry a woman without any intent of fulfilling the same. Wow, okay. So essentially, if you lie about, which you shouldn't be doing, you shouldn't be doing that. But they made it illegal. So what? What's next? I know your concerns is this is a he said, she said. How do you prove that? Like you'd have to record him saying that. And punishable up to 10 years? The main concern is that the gal would just say it. Oh, yeah, he lied to me. He said he was I didn't say I was going to marry her. What are you talking about? Too bad. She said so. That's the main concern there. Mine, once again, is what is it of the government's responsibility to manage marriage like this? Now it's managing dating and courtship. I believe this is coming to the U.S. in less than 5 years. No, I don't think so. I don't think women really want to get married here in the United States. There's a lot of gals upset with situationships. What are we? Where are we going? I don't think so. I don't know the cultural reasons India has that. I just don't. I don't know how else to describe it. Like I don't get the cultural feel the United States would do this. He said he would marry me, and now some states might. I can see that happening in the Bible Belt in some places. because you all need to make more Jesus babies. But yeah, that one there. Movies. This is from Andrew. Hi, Cappy. Can you recommend me some movies to watch that aren't as popular as classic as Caddyshack? I've reviewed over 700. I'm looking for some more gems. My Letterboxd D movie review app is this. By the way, thank you for all your free advice. I graduated 3.65 in computer science because of you, and now I'm getting my master's in AI for only 13,500 in total. It looks like you did your research before you signed up on the college tuition. I got the old rate before they jacked it up for inflation. Anyways, thanks so much, Andrew. Ones that are obscure. Duck You Sucker. My name is Trinity. Obscure. I'm trying to think what I own or like that was obscure. Venus Wars. That's an anime. It's only an hour long, but it was good. I don't know if you ever heard of Ninja Scroll. No, I'm going anime. Afro Samurai 1 and 2. Yeah, nothing's really coming to mind. If you ever reviewed 700, it's pretty good. So we got that there. Radu asked me if I'm going to see the movie The Bike Riders. I don't want to see The Bike Riders. I don't want to see that. This is from Anonymous. He says, why doctors don't date. He wrote a bunch of other stuff. I want to read this part. I'll be quick. You spend 10 plus years of college and medical school residency, possibly fellowship, working a high-stress job for long hours and little pay. You are the bottom of the healthcare hierarchy for years. And when you graduate, you are suddenly a well-respected doctor making the big bucks. You need to give yourself time to adjust. I recommend at least a year, maybe 2. Like Cappy says, too many doctors rush to buy a fancy car, big house, or get married with $250,000 in loans. After sacrificing your younger years studying, you finally have the same time and money to date. Slow down, relax, focus on your job, build wealth, take care of your health, dress nice, shower, the ladies will come. Thankfully, your career makes you in high demand. There are many smart, beautiful women in healthcare. You just have to find them. There you go. Delete that. I'm going to delete that. Delete that. Hey there, Cappy. This is from another our East Indian agent in the field. Hey there, Cappy. It's your Indian fan here. I was researching high-profile divorces in my country, but the thing about my country is that if you are a big enough celebrity, you could dodge plenty of bullets, and it's much worse for the general public of men than the celebrities. Connections are everything in this country. We are very blatantly corrupt. I know you hate reading long posts, but to understand what life for a man in India is like, I need your attention for a longer period of time. However, keep it short, elaborate. India has had a divorce rate of only 1% till 2017 and has started to rise exponentially in recent years. I don't see the speed decreasing. Most marriages here are sexless, and most families just end up getting fat and miserable as they age because they would much rather be miserable than ruin the family name by getting a divorce. Dude, India is going to be a very fascinating cultural study. In terms of their own, I hate to call it a sex war because I don't think it's that hot yet. But it is fascinating seeing the laws and what's going on over there, especially become more, I wouldn't say Americanized or Westernized, but more modernized. As India kind of, I mean, you're the most populous country now, and your economy is growing. It's modern. It's a very fascinating environment to watch. So here are two parody-like contrasting stories of divorce from Mumbai, which is the home of Bollywood. India has family courts at a district level and a high courts for cases at the state level. We have the Supreme Court at the national level. The first story is about a man who had to fight a 5-year-long battle against false accusations of harassment, raising domestic violence for 5 against his wife, only to get 600 for years worth of pain from the family court. There's a link to the article. I'm not going to read it. This is a funny one. Mumbai businessman forced to pay $600 monthly for the wife's pets after the divorce. I know these are sensational stories. I know the circumstances surrounding these stories, like Florida man. Oh, hang on, I got to take this. Give me a second, guys. This can't be done. That's the mechanic. Have to be quick, because if you don't tell them, you gotta call them back. Like, no, it's up on the lift. Do it now. Do it all now. No, I don't want to ever come back. I don't want to deal with it. Anyway, going back to $600 in dog payments. $450 is a month's salary for the middle class family. It shows the absurdity of the law, even accounting for circumstances and context. Cases like the first one are extremely common. Really, women spew false allegations in this country against men as often as Joe Biden stumbles by walking. India is 10 to 20 years behind America in terms of feminist trends, thanks to us being a third world country, but that excludes our metropolitan cities, which have it at least half as bad as in America. We even have pride parades in colleges now. God, you all have to stop following America's lead. I'm not saying you shouldn't have rights for gay people. No, fine, be gay in India, but you should celebrate it. And everyone thinks, oh, India is just this monolithic group of people. No, there's many languages, many groups of people. I can't imagine if you guys get infected with tradeism, where it's the Tamil Sri Lanka, that's not India. The Nexapolites? There's different groups within India where if they're all celebrating there, oh, now you don't got a country no more. Also, I'm sure you will appreciate that our country, the poorest people have the most kids. No. You mean like all over the world, the poorest people have the most amount of kids? I thought Somalia and Chad were doing so well because of the number of kids they had. I apologize if this was so long. You're my favorite person on the internet. Thank you. Thank you. If you are genuinely curious about the life of an average man in India, let me know. India is one of my best friends is from India. Engineer, came over here, computer programmer type. I'm familiar, very familiar. Okay, I can delete that one. What's this? Hi, Aaron. It was great to hear from you today. I needed some time to ponder your question, given that that only a few of the most skilled perform the most work within the electrical. Oh, I just saved that for, okay. This is a short one. This is from Evan. Hi, Cappy. I'd like to thank you for saving me from a finance degree at the Carlson School of Management. Hey, Carlson School, fuck you. I just cost you what? $120,000, and I saved that guy his life. I found your channel near the end of 2020 when I was a senior in high school. I wasn't sure of what to do after high school, but I really appreciate your advice from your videos and books to research careers and the ROI and credentials. I did my own research and calculations, and then I majored in information systems while living at home and commuting to the nearest university, not the Carlson School. Oh, no. Well, fuck with the wrong guys, what they did. Last week, I graduated a year early with zero in debt. Oh, is it possible? But bro, don't you want to wear your hat backwards and get job interviews at Cargill that you'll never get? Next week, I start as a data engineer associate, making $74,000 a year. That's more than any Carlson School graduate, Carlson School of Management graduate. On top of that, I have $30,000 in savings, 400 ounces of silver, and a little crypto. Nice. Nice. You got enough silver. You can back off now. I appreciate your help. This would not have been possible without your wisdom. That makes me feel good. I'm glad I helped you out. I'm glad I helped you avoid making the mistakes I did, and that you are way further ahead than I am. I am glad to see younger people making the right choices early on and avoiding the landmines we all stepped on before, so that the rest of your life will be better and good. It makes me happy to hear this. If you're ever near the Appleton, Wisconsin area and want to play a game of D&D, I would be honored to run a game for you. Thank you, Evan. I do have family kind of in that area, east side Wisconsin. I might, but thank you very much. Where did that go? That goes in the mementos. Hang on. Come on. There we go. All right. I went through all the fan mail. We got that's done. All right, now let's go to the super chats. Holy shit, we got 530 comments. Very lively comment section. Wisdivision Productions, $5. Trying out the Google Pixel Flip 4 phone. I love how nostalgia is even infecting tech design. One step forward, two step backs. Back, dig the phone so far. Google Flip 4 phone. What's a Flip 4 phone? Hang on. Is that a new phone? Oh, that thing refurbished. Oh, yeah. I still got an ancient phone. Don't get me started on technology. Don't get me started on just what a Wisdom Vision Productions, $5 again. Typical Americans. We calculate the cost to own, but never the cost to maintain or repair. TCO is a bitch, ain't it? Also, fix your internet, Grandpa. I know. I know. Not my fault. It is my responsibility. No, actually, I'm going to blame the Republicans and white men for my shitty internet. So have John Marcus write an article at NBC or wherever he writes, oh my God, did you know middle-aged white men don't have the best internet? Aaron Clary, and then the sad sob story about how I played college softball and didn't know if my softball credits would transfer. Wisdom, $2. The power of one, the power of two, the power of many. Evan, 10 Canadian bucks. They actually are writing articles about coffee shops going out of business. I have one about Philly. You know what? Let's find that. Let's find out while you thank you, Evan. I'm not gonna Philly coffee store union. This was sent to me by someone. Here we go. Is this today? June 12th. Controversy brewing over abrupt closure of OCF coffee house shops in Philly. This is not abrupt. There is no controversy. You unionized. I'm going to assume the union is arguing for an increase in pay, not lower pay. The guy probably has this thin of margins, and now no, it isn't worth it. Oh my God! They shut down. I know the people typically entering coffee store, fast food restaurants. I know you're either young enough, you're unaware of basic economics, or you're too stupid, right? You got your degree in college and it's going and now you work that. Okay. But whether you're stupid or just young and naive and unaware of the ways of the world, you understand the owner has to make a certain amount of money. And if it becomes too expensive to operate, like the $20 minimum wage in California, a lot of places are going to close down because there's not enough profit margin left over. And then you all lose your jobs. Controversy brewing over abrupt closure. More than 30 employees are out of work after the business closed. Some say it's because they announced their intention to unionize and join Workers Local 8. And now here's a question. OCF Coffee House. I have a question for those of you in Philly. If I were to go into an OCF coffee house, sounds like there's more than one. Would they have leftist propagandists come to the rally poster and shitty local artists' art? Would they be a leftist? Are the owners and the managers leftists? Are they Democrat? If I walked in, is it a Democrat company? And now they get unionized. So now you have Democrat owners or managers suffering Democrat policies. So should I just not give a fuck? Same thing with Starbucks. If you haven't been paying attention, Starbucks is going through a controversy because I guess they didn't support Palestine enough, according to employees. Oh, the sanctimonious asshole leftist corporation that lectured me about how moral and virtue signaling it was for the past 20 years, one of the original virtue signalers. Oh, your Frankenstein monsters are starting to attack and turn on you? What a fucking shock. 30. Some say it's because just 1 week earlier they announced their intention to unionize and join United Local 80. Well, it's not speculation. We wanted better pay and stability and part-time health benefits, not only full-time, said former employee Stephanie Slaughter. Oh, your situation has not improved. In a letter to employees and patrons, the owner of OCF Coffee House, Ori Fabush, said rising costs and reduced sales led to the decision to close all 3 of his locations. Wonder if crime played a role in that if you're in Philly. He also pointed to administrative and legal costs associated with the staff's desire to organize. Well, there you go. Fabush hosted a poorly attended non-mandatory staff meeting on Monday, and by 4 p.m., staffers received an email that all 3 coffee shops were shuttered effective immediately. Very, very disheartening. We didn't even start negotiating. I'm wondering, because he's like, fuck it, we're done. Ori, I'm wondering if he has other sources of income. I knew a real entrepreneur like this. He had to have a certain amount of profit to make on his various restaurants that he owned. And then if a restaurant fell below it, he'd shut it down because he wasn't getting the rate of return that he needed. Because whether you guys realize this or not, Ori and other entrepreneurs, usually they got to pay their creditors. There might be some other investors that they got to pay dividends to. And if you're not making enough money, then these guys will pull their investments out and say, yeah, we're done here. We want to be bought out. Or you have to reallocate to an investment that's going to provide those investors a high enough rate of return. And the fact you could just pull it like that, I'm like, I bet you he's got other stuff going on. He's like, yeah, we're just not investing here anymore. They didn't even ask us what we were looking for before he shut down, leaving us all in a lurch via email, said Ava Ala Biso. Well, you made it so it wasn't profitable or profitable enough for him, and he closed down. Maybe you should have thought about that. OCF Coffee has been open in Philadelphia neighborhoods for 13 years. OCF Coffee House says it will continue to provide health, vision, and dental benefits for employees for the next 3 years. Former employees are pushing for severance pay at the least. Well, too fucking bad. You don't get it. No. What a bunch of entitled little bitches you all are. He doesn't have to offer you job. You don't. No. Look, and I understand it's all up front. I understand corporations and employers absolutely are always trying to screw you over. I get it, but you negotiate that up front. Like, no, you will pay me a living wage. And you shouldn't take anything but a living wage because I don't know how you live off a non-living wage. You made it, he's closing it down. You don't understand the concept of vote. No. You don't get paid. You don't get a severance pay. I should get a severance. Would you like a foot massage while you're at it too? It's over. The relationship is like when I break up with a girlfriend or whatever, it's over. Well, can you at least come over and fix my dishwasher? Fuck you. It's like you don't even talk to you anymore. Oh, that's it. Hang on. You bring up an interesting thing here, Evan. Protesting their unemployment. Yeah, look up OCF Coffee House. There you go. Yep. Generation Apollo, $5. The Academy of Fine Arts in Philly is abruptly closing this year after being open since 1805. Sign of the times. I'm sure in the past 40 years it was taken over by boomer Marxists and turned into a worthless fucking adult babysitting operation. Wisdom Vision Productions, $5 again. I've learned more useful things from Cappy video streams and books than all my time spent in college combined. YouTube about to be raising generations. I've learned, not just because I'm older, but in 4 years, let's use a time. In 4 years, I will learn more every 4 years from YouTube, or I had to learn how to replace fuel lines on my motorcycle. I will learn more from YouTube or the internet in 4 years than I will any 4 years of college. Any 4 years. John Smith, $5. Imagine your landlord days, you popping out your basement dwelling like an angry bridge troll to yell at your tenants. No, there was no internet then. And I was drinking too, so it calmed me down. I was a happy drunk. Mark Magana, $5. New Youngstown state president is a former Republican congressman, expressed concern for long-term and is making cuts. People now calling him a racist. Of course. There's no win. Like, college is this entitlement to a lot of these young dipshit adults. College, it's my dream. It's the only thing I got. Racist, sexist. No, he's probably saving you tremendous financial costs down the road. Yakov G, 15 Israeli shekels. I hate parasites. Should I collect unemployment to get a cyber certificate and job, or power through my day job as a technician. Well, a technician, and what pays more, man? I don't know. And if you're in Israel, I don't know what the job market is. But if you get a cybersecurity certificate in Israel, will it pay more? Or what does the technician pay? That you got to do you got to do the analysis on that yourself. ET, $5. Hi, Cappy. In your opinion, what's the most efficient way to put in your 2 weeks notice? W2 job for reference. Thanks. Honestly, there's some, I don't know. I'm not the expert on this. What I would do, and here's the risk, the modern risk with these boomer cocksucker bosses, more modernly Gen X. And I understand with the coffee people, I get them, the workers, I mean. The modern thing now is what you'll do is you'll send in your 2 weeks notice. They'll say, fine, thank you. And then they'll fire you because they're petty. What you need to do is send an email. And even then they could say, well, we fired him for incompetence the day after. So there's a question as to whether 2 weeks notice is even worth giving nowadays. You just send it, and it's an email. You CC your private email as well, saying, I am giving you my 2 weeks notice, or today, effective today, I'm quitting. Effective of now, I'm quitting. You don't even give them 5 minutes to fire you. That's how bad it's become. So you're now facing the risk of, okay, it looks like I just quit abruptly and I'm not professional, but you still expose yourself to getting fired. I would go research that on the internet. I'd see what Josh Fluke does. But I do know you got to send your employer and your private self an email. So you got proof, like, no, I put in my 2 weeks notice, and then out of spite, they fired me afterwards. Or they said that I was terminated. No, I gave my resignation. So I'd have to do more research. That's what I'd be doing. Colin K, $5. College local to me is closing after 160 years of mediocrity. Campus acquired by community college trade school, swamping English majors for machinists. There we go. That's what we need. That's what we need. And that's actually going to help everyone, including women and minorities. People who claim that their college shutting down is racist. Mexi Man and Cheese, $5. I'd be okay with free college if it needs a qualification base. We need more doctors. If you qualify for med school, you could go. Never happening. We need to get rid of all universities, all colleges and universities, and each industry must come up with their own accreditation programs and certification processes or paths. That's it. There might be some reason to have colleges and universities anyway. Like, okay, maybe you're just not the type to self-educate. But going forward with younger generations being raised online, it's going to be the opposite. Like, what, going to physical school? Are you nuts? But there might still be a need. Trade school, you need a machine to work on. I need someone to physically show you. I could see having physical schools for that. But yeah, this is what should happen. But there's so many worthless people employed by colleges and universities. And let's also, per before, you shut down my college. Why do you hate black people or women? There's a lot of young people, black, female or not, who think that that's their birthright. That's success. I went to school. I'm successful. The people who they're our first child in our family to go to college. Like, that doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean anything. That means it's your first child to not be working and making money fresh out of high school. That's what that means. We need to get younger people to realize that college is not necessary. It's not an accomplishment. You're not entitled to it. And it's not anything valuable necessarily. It's a pain in the ass. It's equivalent to me bragging about having to have a colonoscopy. John Smith, $5. Even as a lifelong math avoidance, as a lifelong math avoidance, people are becoming increasingly innumerate by my standards. What are people doing in these classrooms for 20 years? Yeah, exactly. It shouldn't take. It's 22 years, 5 to 22. No, I'm sorry, 17 years. 5 to 22. That's 17 years, and you still. Part employer's problem. You're still not qualified to work. It is good to see companies like Walmart. Google was one of the first ones where they stopped requiring college degrees. It's like, no, we got training programs. But that has to, the S&P 500, you want to talk about Davos or the World Economic Forum, the best thing they could do to help young people across the globe is to knock it off with college degrees. Saying, no, what are we as employers and the S&P 500 going to do to get employees in here? Mark McGowan, $2 YouTube to start requiring MBA for new creator. And then everyone went to Rumble. VJ Hermos, 10 generous dollars. Hey, Cappy, you asked me about working at UPS. It blows for 4 years. However, I now make 6 figures. That is before Cook County and the federal government take 40%. I'm a delivery driver in Chicago suburbs, by the way. There you guys go. Just don't go to Chicago. Can you transfer, Hermos? If you got the years and experience, you've stuck around, you got the skills, can you just transfer out to Dallas or, I don't know, Nashville or some place that doesn't suck? The Glutton, $5. That was an outstanding video interview you dropped last night with Dr. Cotto. Biologically, the USA clearly shows incompetent humans at all levels. Yep. Ross the Skunk. I know Joe. Joe's a good friend. Ross the Skunk, $5. Good morning, Cappy. Working from home, not spending money on gas. Amen. Welcome to the club, Ross. Welcome to the club. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go into my garage. I'm going to bolt down the new vice grip I got, and I'm going to go get myself, I think I'm going to go into town and get myself a Brave latte because I'm a snooty, pampered fuck. Might play God of War later. Jorge has $5. It's not just colleges collapsing. There's a lot of rural hospitals closing down. There's like 195 hospital closures since 2005 till now. Well, somebody must do something. I've painted the path. I've told everybody what they got to do. What you pose here, Jorge, is a very interesting, very real question younger generations face. Is, are you going to put in the effort and work to become a functional society? Are you going to solve these problems? Because it ain't boomers. They're dying. Gen X is tried in what minimal capacity it has, but they're also mostly brainwashable. Millennials are finally just waking up now. They might. Sit down, everyone. Millennials have been so violated, lied to, beaten, and destroyed by the Democrat adults in their life. They just might, like 50.02 to 49.98, they might vote Republican. But it's a question for you Zoomers. Look, you're the ones that, are you going to knock it off with the whiny bullshit? Are you gonna nut up, sack up, and like, hey, we don't have to have immigrants in this country. We can make it so the labor supply isn't massively high. No offense to immigrants, but I'm talking economics. You could start voting in and eliminate college degrees and requirements. You could vote in politicians, say, that would force corporations and players, like, you cannot require a college degree. You must require an education, but not a college degree. You're the one who's going to inherit. What kind of rules you could change the rules? What kind of rules do you want? And if you keep voting for free shit, well, guess what? More shit's going to close down. But if you can say, stop making it so fucking hard to produce shit and earn a living in life, which you can and should do, you're going to have a better life. I don't know. I'm not saying the Republicans are going to solve all problems, but it sure the fuck ain't going to be the Democrats. Sarku, the 5-headed Lord of Worms, $5. Do not go to public or private schools. If you can read, go to the public libraries where you live. Right, but the young people today still face the credentialism bigotry, discrimination, that you need to have a credential. You need to have a degree. Stan the Milkman, 8 Australian. More story popping up about student loans here. We are 10 years behind. 1/3 of mining engineer grads when I graduated. Guess they did communications. Yakov, 15 shekels again. Cybersecurity pays double. I'm just struggling with becoming a parasite. Oh, I see. Yeah, but see, if you're, look, 2 rules. As long as you're working towards something, that's rule number 1. And you are. So I would say, yes, go collect your unemployment and go apply for cybersecurity. Did you vote for the party that's against unemployment? Did you? You did? Fine. Your country folk, the Israeli people and citizens, they voted for the welfare program anyway. Not your problem. Take it. And do it without guilt. Because look, I think I speak for everyone here, even though we're not Israel. The people over there would rather you have it because you're working towards something than some parasite. What's your parasitic class over there called? I don't know. The Brits got like the chavs or the shavs, whatever they call it. What you're working towards something. So I absolutely would take a look, and you're going to pay back way more in taxes, I'd imagine, in Israel over the time of a cybersecurity specialist than whatever you're going to collect for 6 months. So I would absolutely do it. Hermos, again, $2. You could transfer, but only within your local union. Union local. Oh, okay. So you're kind of anchored there a little bit. Wisdom, $5. How much would it cost for you to appear on It's a Gundam's quality content YouTube streams that he does digitally every week? It wouldn't cost me anything. I love Gundam. He's one of my favorite podcasters. I love to go on his show. But I just don't walk up. Hey, Gundam, let me on your show. You would, Wisdom, reach out to him. We're at the 2 hour, 1 minute mark. Show him this request. He would also have to like watch my stuff, which is going to be a burden to him. Like, why would he have me on the show? Like, you need to watch people's material and stuff to know their personality. Otherwise, they're stranger to them. So, like, I would have Gundam on my show because I'm aware of his work. I could ask him interesting, engaging, and insightful questions that would make an entertaining show for everyone watching. If he had me on his show, he'd be like, "Well, who the fuck are you?" You know, he doesn't know my shit. He doesn't know my spiel. Ross the Skunk, $2. Bravian latte. I don't know. Brave latte. It's extra snooty. Dre, $2 for Cappy's Perkit order of soapy pancakes with DT. No, that's not happening. No. I am choosing peace in my life, not happiness. I mean, if happiness was a choice, I'd choose it. But I'm choosing peace and serenity, not anger, not frustration. Dre, $2. Did you decide when you're going to Japan yet? I got a quote from the travel agent, and the flights were a little expensive, but I understood that. She was quoting me $300 a night for hotels. I'm like, are you kidding me? I gotta go. I don't need a fancy hotel. I was like, yeah, this is out of my budget. It's way out of my budget. So I have a buddy who's actually flown to Japan several times. I'm going to talk to him. Okay, where do I go? Where do I stay? What's the codes and the past things and the train tickets I need? You know, I'm just good. What do I need? And if he can come with me, that'd be great, because then I'd have a chaperone and it wouldn't be. But yeah, I looked at the hotel prices. I'm like, I remember the Kaneda hotel that I booked. It was like $50 a night. It was within walking distance of Tokyo International. I'm like, that's where I'm staying. All right, there you go. Questions, answers, assholeconsulting.com. Link below is a link to my book called Worthless, The Young Person's Indispensable Guide to Choosing the Right Major. I hope every young person reads that so you don't go through the hell that this journalist wrote the sob story about. And now I'm going to go do manly things with my hands. We'll see you guys later, Toodles.